All right, welcome to a Through the Omenpaths sealed. I like to do sealed at the beginning of the format, right? Get a feel for the cards. I've looked a little bit at some spoilers, watched a little bit of content during the pre-release, but not a whole lot, so don't really know what most of these cards do. Know some of the mechanics. I think the in-web mechanic definitely seems cool. The mayhem mechanic I'm a little bit lukewarm on, I think, but we'll see how it comes together. But at any rate, let's go ahead and rip these open and see what we're working with. Okay, is that 4 mythics? That's pretty good. So I see Through the Omenpaths. I know this card's insane. Alright, it's 8 mana, but you can convoke it, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, you look at the top 5 of your library and put a creature card from them into play. That seems really good. We've got this 5 mana dude. Does this do anything? So Scions, excuse me, does a lot, right? Flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. Other spiders get all those things. I have absolutely no idea how feasible 5 color is in this format. I just realized we have a second Through the Omenpaths. Through's the Omenpath? I don't know, but that's pretty cool. What's this dude do? So 1/1, reach death touch, sacrifice it to search for a spider hero, which is cards like this 5 color guy, and also Makdi and Itla. Okay, artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped for 2/2 flyer for 2. That seems good. Legend rule doesn't apply to spiders. You cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, copy it. Choose new targets for that copy. If it's a permanent, it gains haste. Okay, so that applies to mayhem, right? So if you cast something from your graveyard with mayhem, you get to copy it. Okay, that could certainly be good in the right deck. That does require a bit of setup, right? Because mayhem on its own requires a decent amount of setup to get going. Both having the enabler of discarding and then the mayhem card that you want to discard and play for 1 mana less or whatever. But okay, good to know. And then this thing, 3 film counters, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. Choose new targets. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So this thing I've seen before. I like this. Yeah, so it makes 3 1/1s. You can channel land, makes 3 1/1s, and you can pump something 1/1 for each creature you control. And then exile top 2 cards until end of turn. You can play those 2 cards, add 2 mana of any combination of colors, spend it only to cast spells from exile. Okay. So 4 mana to be able to play the top 2 cards. So the problem is you need to, so it's really net 2 mana, right? Because it makes 2 mana itself, but you then need to be able to actually play the things on the top of your deck. All right, so I definitely want to be in green. I want to play double Through the Omenpaths. I think that is a given. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at green first and just put the playables into the deck. So this is the 1/3 trampler that when you play something with mana value greater 4 or greater, it gets 1/1. Excuse me. So mill 3, put a permanent into your hand, or destroy target creature with flying. Okay, so in sealed, right, something like that has 2 modes. Being able to kill a creature with flying is definitely good. And then if you're like, well, I just have this card in my hand, my opponent doesn't have any flyers, being able to cash it in for a permanent in your graveyard is also good. So this thing, if you pay 1 extra, you get to put a basic land in your hand. Okay, that's all right. Type 5 cards, reveal 2 creature cards and put them in your hand, rest in the bottom, sack it to create a treasure token. Okay, I'm not crazy about that. It's mana dork that you can put 1/1 counters on things. This is the fight spell. Whenever it's blocked, you create a treasure. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Okay, on a 4/4 body, that seems okay. This thing's insane, right? 6 mana for 6/6, reach, trample, ward 2. Spider, and it is a spider hero. So we had something that found spider heroes, so that's good. We also just want big things, right? Because if we play Through the Omenpaths, then that can automatically put things in. If you play 2 Through the Omenpaths, you're in good shape. All right, so we definitely want to favor creatures, right? We want to have a creature-heavy deck so that we can convoke Through the Omenpaths out early, and so that it has a lot of hits. White, just from having looked at the rares, seems like a good pair because I have this just putting 3 1/1s in play to convoke with seems good. What's this? Another target creature gains flying. Okay, that's okay. I like this Betty Ray thing. You put a 1/1 on a counter, and then whenever she attacks a modified creature, gains lifelink. This gives something first strike and vigilance once per turn. This is a 3 mana 3/3. Although, of course, in webbing is a thing. The Spider Fancier is good, right? Whenever another creature enters your game, oh, if it's a spider, you put a 1/1 counter. How many of the green creatures that we have are spiders? 2, a whopping 2. Okay, so excuse me, sorry. City Pigeon is an in-web enabler, but the only in-web thing that we've seen so far is this dude. 3 of this combat trick, which is okay, and this thing that either puts a 1/1 or draws you a card and replaces itself. Okay, so our white is looking lukewarm. Blue, we have the typical blue removal-ish type of enchantment. Whenever this thing attacks, you mill a card. Target player draws a card, and then a creature connives. Okay, so we're pairing with green, so the mayhem connivey stuff is probably not the sort of thing we want to do. Villain enters, put a 1/1 on this creature. Okay. I like this counter spell that also doubles as a tapper. That seems good. I like this guy a lot. So if you have 8 or more cards in your graveyard, he's an 8/8, and if you have another villain, he's hexproof. So you can have an 88 hexproof for 5 when the game goes late. Seems pretty good. This clone that only clones a creature you control. Mayhem's for 1 less mana. See, I don't know. I'm not sold on that sort of thing. Save 1 mana by setting up some way to discard it. We'll see. I'm sure, I just need to see the enablers and see it in action. Because of course it is generating card advantage when the discard's supposed to be a downside. Okay, and you can put a 1/1 on something and give it flying if you exile this from your graveyard. A 3/3 flyer for 4 in sealed is like not the worst thing in the world on its own. Okay, looking at black, I see 2 Scorpion Stings right away, which is good. These dudes, dudettes, 2/1 lifelink for 2 that you can ping for 4 mana. Okay. Replaces itself, but you can mill 4 cards. Excuse me, sorry. And put a creature card from among them in your hand. That seems lukewarm. A 2/2 that bear that gives you a treasure token. Decode transmissions that lets you surveil first, so that's good. Okay, return a villain from your graveyard to your hand. So some of our villain stuff here doesn't seem too bad. Beginning of your end step, if a creature dies, another target connives. Okay, this is a kill spell, right? So that's good. This thing, well, this is the 4/5 death touch. You can put 2 1/1s from your graveyard. Okay. And then this thing brings another creature card. Okay, so our black is actually pretty reasonable. We've got a nice removal suite. It's not terribly creature heavy, but that can be okay. So looking at red, we've got a shock and this burst thing. So a couple red removals. Discard a card, draw 2. So there's some of that mayhem enabling. Getting extra value. We discard. We actually have a lot more red cards than I kind of expect. You got to get used to seeing like a smaller concentration of cards since it's a smaller set, so you end up getting a lot more duplicates, right? Winds of Change. Huh. I did not know that was in the set. Okay, whenever you discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. On a 2 mana 1/2 flying haste. Okay. The 3/1 that gives haste. This thing that makes you want to play big guys. A 4/3 for 2 if you manage to discard it. It becomes tapped, you discard a card, and if you do, draw a card. Okay, so I see a lot of the mayhem enablers in red for us, so that's something to consider for sure. Including the Arachnomania. Okay, let's keep that in mind. So looking at multicolored stuff. So first of all, we know we're in green. So something like this. So we don't have any other in web stuff, which is a shame, right? Because this is really good if you can bring it back to your hand. I mean, I'm probably going to play it anyway. And that's the only thing to consider from pure green. Oh, there's also this. I think I wanted spiders for something. I've already forgotten what cared about spiders in our green. No, it was something in white that cared about spiders, right? It was this thingy, the spider fancier. Okay, so there's one thing to consider, one other spider there. And if we were in green-white, we would have the surveil land. We would have access to this thing, which is a spider as well. Okay, let's see. Spider hero in addition to other types. That was the thing with the activated abilities. This thing is a spider as well. Notably, that's not actually card advantage. You're just sticking land on top of your library, which, I mean, can be good if you keep like a 2-lander with this in your hand. Okay, that thing's probably in. This is the 1/1 flyer that makes a 1/1 on the ground. I'm not sold on this fulcrum. Okay, so our black looked really good. Lots of good removal, just not crazy on creatures, and we want creatures if we're able to play double through the Omenpaths. Okay, so as far as non-creature spells from green, the Perilous Lunge, I think, stays. These may not, though. You know, depending. How many creatures can we shove in there if we play black? So let's just click the black in. That guy's not, like, impressive, but it is a creature. Also not impressive, but is a creature. The Serpent Stings. Let's see. Okay, we're probably going to end up with... We had a bunch of villains, I think, that I looked at. Being of your end step, if creature died this turn, target creature you control connives. Okay. Kill something. To get something back with a 1/1 seems fine too, but again, we want creatures. And then did we have any... So, this thing that's just connives. None of that's exciting. Knife Trick we could play. I'm playing black, but again, that's not exciting either. Okay, so we could fill in, we could get a 40th card somewhere. But again, I'm not crazy about playing these Scout the Cities. This is not letting me maximize my deck. Oops. I don't want that, I want that. I'm not crazy about playing the Scout the Cities, and... Huh. Removal is good, though. Search your library for a spider hero card. So I think we've got a few of those, right? Hero 1. So we've only got the 1. Who's our spider hero? Oh, there's also to consider spell with mana value 4 or greater. We've got a few of them. Okay. Oh, so wait, that's a villain. The heck is our hero? Human villain? Villain? Okay, am I just not seeing it? Okay. Yeah, we supposedly have one hero. Oh, is it this thing? Ah, Spider Dinosaur Hero. Okay. So this thing you can search up. Excuse me, the Chizak. Okay, so yeah, our green is just insane. With our black, like, we get the removal, but then we're playing these creatures that are just not very good. Our blue didn't seem wonderful. What about our red? We've got shock. Our red creatures also aren't seeming all that amazing. And our white just wasn't deep enough. Okay, so 2 Scorpion Stings, some recursion, yeah, hard removal spell there. Okay, I think we do have to play the black. Wait, what was that clandestine work? What is this? I don't know if we want that, we'll see. I think we have to play the black, play these subpar creatures. And we have room for one more card. Oh, it was this thing that I was sort of curious about. Activated or triggered abilities. So, okay, I'm really not sure why I can't maximize my deck. What is going on? All right, whatever. We'll have to deal with it. Also, I'm not... This gets permanence? Okay. So activated. There's that. There's that ETB. Okay, I mean, we've got some triggered and activated abilities. I don't know about all that, though. Do we have the 3-mana Mika? Yeah. Do we just take this to ramp us into through the Omenpaths and Chizak? It's a tough sell when creatures do the same thing, right? We just don't have access to any other creatures. Prison Break thing is also pretty good looking. All right. I'm taking the trolley. We're taking it as a ramp spell to try to ramp into through the Omenpaths. So our deck is a little awkward. I would definitely like to have more creatures. But that's what's going to happen in sealed. And I sometimes I don't know that we've really had a good alternative. All right, so we've got some ramp. We've got the giant Chizak thingy. This dude that does some stuff. All right, and they've got an Evolving Wilds. Okay. So this thing adds red or green. When you cast an expensive thing, you untap it. Alright, they've got a lot of ramp. It would have been nice to have seen that. So we could play the Tree Trolley. Yeah, we'll play the Tree Trolley and then the Fate Weaver. Which, the Fate Weaver is just a 1/1 reach death touch because we already have our Spider Hero of Chizak. It's also, that's the ramp spell that they can't kill, right? I play that, they can just kill it. Next turn we can play Tepix, and we will trade this thing off for probably the Supportive Parents. Or these goblins. So I was just about to say, so they're playing green-red big things, so maybe there's something bigger I would want to trade that Fate Weaver off for. Oh, do they have a kill spell too? That would be unfortunate. Excuse me. Alright, so that thing's a villain. Make the Damning Caress cost 2 less. Alright. Interesting. So they had a fight spell, but okay. Hold on. So, target creature gets 1/0 until end of turn. It fights creature and opponent controls. Excess damage. You destroy one target non-creature artifact with mana value 3 or less. God, that seems so specific. That worked out for them. Okay. All right. Well, this favored fighter seemed like a pretty good draw here. So we get a treasure token. Probably just trade it off with those goblins. They're down to 2 cards in hand, so if we can trade off with the goblins and they don't play anything too scary, then we're in okay shape. Next turn, if we sack the treasure, we can do one of these two, or if we draw a land, we can play Chizak. They manually tapped... Okay. Okay, interesting. So they manually tapped everything, and then they auto-cast, which tapped the Weaver anyway. Alright, I think we just run this out, right? And hope they don't have an answer for it. And the next turn we can Damning Caress. Because I would like to get a little bit of life back. We could also cast the Arachnologist and Crack the Food, just to get us sort of out of the danger zone, since... I mean, obviously, if they have a removal spell here that can kill Chizak and do it for, well, I guess 4 mana, then we're dead. But they only had 1 card in hand going into the turn, so I'm cautiously optimistic that that's not going to be something they can do. Alright, so you can untap that. Creature you control gets 3/1 and becomes a dinosaur. Okay. So they can discard something, so that would become an 8/5, which would indeed kill the Chizak. Question is, do we kill this Rage Incubator then? Also, it has menace, so yeah, I think we have to caress that. Yeah, I think that's kind of all there is to it. So we're just going to do that. Gain 2, go up to 8. Leave this dude back to block. What do these guys do? So they lifelink, which is kind of, excuse me, handy right now. I'd like to get the Arachnologist out there. Next turn, let's put 1/1 counters on spiders only. This thing happens to be a spider. So I don't know all the tricks in this format. It seems pretty apparent that they have something. I don't think we have the ability to just... Okay, I was going to say not block and or block the Weaver even, because if they just had, you know, a pump spell, we'd be dead. If they're just 2 for 1ing to kill Chizak, I think that's okay. A knife trick, huh? Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. So we can play... So we could play Tethix, but I think I'd rather just play 2 dudes. Especially considering one is a lifelinker. Get that out. This creature deals 1 damage to an opponent, so it's not just ping, it's ping and it's drain for 1. Okay, Caracals. Okay, so they can become a 4/4. Alright, good. So this lets us draw a card. I don't have any spiders anymore. They can pump that, so I don't want to attack. Alright, so I think I'm just going to play this and draw a card. We can also play Tethix, right? Because we can tap the Arachnologist. What does this thing do? Okay, so this... We'll go ahead and get this out there. If nothing else, we have a 1/1 flyer, which we can't actually get in because of the stupid Leyline Weaver. And that thing is not an artifact. Okay. And then we say go. So these Caracals are kind of hard stopping us, as is this thing having reach. We can start draining them for 1 a turn, and in 20 turns we will kill them. But the board state is pretty stabilized here, depending on what they've drawn. Oh, it looks like they're thinking about killing the Enforcers. Oh, nope, they killed this thing. Okay, well, let's go ahead and sack our food in response. Okay. Sorry about that. A little sick at the moment. So if they attack... Huh, okay, they attack that way. So if they attack that way... I definitely want to kill that. I think we're just going to double block here. And we're going to take 4 from the Caracals, but now we can attack with the Lifelinker. And the next turn we can play the Tethix, which blocks the Caracals. Even if they pump it. Alright, cool. I think we actually get to just attack with both. Play a big thing. Play a land. Say go. They could certainly just draw a land. And not a kill spell for Tethix. That would be preferred. Ugh. Okay, well, show me what you got. Uh-oh. Sorry. All right, let's get in there. And then we can drain them for 1 as well. This is not a sorcery, right? Okay, beautiful. We've got Scorpion Sting to kill something. It looks like they've just drawn lands. Okay. I think I might actually like these more than I thought I did. Didn't quite realize that was a drain. I didn't think that out. Good game. game goes late, and then you get to do that, you know, drain them for 2 each turn. Seems good. All right, 1-0. Not a bad start. You can right-click a card during a game to zoom in, giving us more information. Our opponent is brilliant. We are without a black source, but if we play this for 3, we get to tutor up a swamp, so that seems fine. And we have things to do on turns 1 and 2, so that's good. So this thing can find our Chizax and nothing else. Even... oh, wow. Okay. So the question is, do I just offer up the trade? Screws for 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because they could just trade off any of their other dudes. Trade it off with the Leyline Weaver or whatever. So that seemed a little weird, right? Because like this can block anything and trade off, but I'm kind of, you know, I'm curving out here and I kind of want to be able to attack. Now, if they kill my Leyline Weaver and now I'm just sitting here with like no creatures in play, you know, I'm going to look a little silly. Or maybe it's because this like kind of won me the game last game. Or took part in winning me the game last game. Yeah, maybe that was a little hasty, but like the way I was thinking about it is like if I didn't attack there, I basically could just not attack until I dealt with okay, so this thing is problematic, right? Yeah. So we basically just kind of have to pass, I think. Because if we play the chariot without tutoring a land, then it makes it even more clear that we have a trick. But, alright, if creature died this turn, target creature connive, so they'll get to connive. But we are gonna do this. And block. Because we do not want them drawing cards. Gains this card's other abilities. I didn't realize that too. Wow, that's pretty sick. Alright. So I've got a conniving of my own. I can just kill their 4/4. Seems fine. And then we get to attack as well. Get in there. Alright, so now they, at least for now, don't have a target for putting their counter on with the Augmenter, which seems like a pretty good card. Let's see. So, alright. Looking back, that was kind of dumb. Trading off the Fate Weaver. I would rather them have the 2/1 in play and have me be able to tutor up a Chizax right now. Return target villain card from your graveyard to your hand. Yikes. Yeah, so I've been like working about removing their creatures, and they have been recurring their creatures, which makes that plan not too great from my perspective. So we could play the chariot without tutoring up a land and play the Crime Lord in the same turn. Let's see. Not necessarily, actually. We could do it this way. Yeah, let's do it this way. That makes green, okay. Let's get a swamp. Alright, and let's say go. Yeah, so don't like the position we're in with 2 lands in hand, and they've got 5 cards, 4 cards, and they've got this thing in their graveyard. Okay, Mob Lookout is the least threatening thing they could play. I think. Who knows? Oh, okay. And now so they've enabled Mayhem. So they get to play this. You get to get another villain card. Alright, yeah. drowning in card advantage here, so it's at this point I am kind of looking to draw through the Omenpaths. You're not blocking. Kind of looking to draw through the Omenpaths. We've got 2 entire Omenpaths in our deck. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and crew this up. Let's get in there with this thing. If they block it and we get to connive, that's wonderful. And if not, we'll just play this and say go. Not our best draw. We do not need the ramp or more mana production at this point, but that's okay. But yeah, 2 through the Omenpaths in our deck out of 26 cards. Surely we will draw it next turn. We've got a couple turns, depending on what they do, but obviously things are looking grim for the home team right now. Just realized I made myself bigger and now I block my food token. Alright, Dennis the Menace, or Tethrix the Malice, that was close. Villains cost 1 less to cast, interesting. Alright, well we are not blocking. Please stop playing stuff. That's just rude. Alright, we'll cash in the food token here so that I'm not hiding anything. No? You've got a lot of cards on the board. I don't have many cards on the board. Ooh, that was not the best draw. I would love to go through the Omenpaths while going through the Omenpaths right now. Alright, so we're gonna have to trade some stuff off. We can crew up the chariot and trade with... Yep, okay. That's not great. So now they get to look at the top 4, right? Yeah. I think I'm just taking us. And yeah, they're gonna look at the top 4. We are in rough shape. Even if we draw through the Omenpaths now, we're still in rough shape. We need to Omenpaths for like Chiswick immediately. And even then, still gonna be in trouble. Any hope they deck themselves? Going through 5 cards a turn? Yeah, maybe. Do I have any villains in my graveyard? I don't. I have a spider. So I just realized we have this thing in our deck. I don't know if we even have any... we do have a couple villains. This is villain, Chiswick's a villain. Alright, so that's fine. Chiswick is cheaper. Alright. I'm trying to exercise some self-restraint and not just concede here, but we are in rough shape. So yeah, best card in the deck, still through the Omenpaths, and if we draw it this next turn, I don't think that's going to be enough. But whatever, we'll get exposure to some more cards from the format, depending on what our opponent does. They attack with a lot of stuff, that's what they do, okay. Seems like a reasonable plan on their part. So we're gonna crew up. Okay, that thing knives. We're gonna be doing some trades here. I'm gonna crew up the chariot with nil here. Wait, so yeah, that's 3-2. Okay, so we're gonna crew that up there. We're gonna block there, there, and there. We're gonna take 8. And go to 3. All right, They're ever so much closer to decking themselves. Or they just kill us, right? Because that thing, yeah, that thing drains when it comes into play. All right. 1 and 1. Again, I don't have the highest hopes for this deck. It's a little awkward, but there isn't any scenario where we play anything other than green, I think, after opening the through Omenpaths, and then it just didn't have like a great pairing color. I think black was the best choice. The removal's good. Oh, I forgot about these scout the cities. All right, so there's a lot of good recursion in this set, which, you know, in sealed, the games are going longer. That last game, I was like removing their creatures the first so many turns, and then they just got everything back, and I was just so far behind at that point, so. The stupid thing. Okay, so we don't really get to do anything because I want to tutor up the land with the chariot. So next turn we're going to play the arachnologist. Hope they don't kill it. You got me. All right. Supportive parents. Hey, there's through the Omenpaths. Okay. I definitely wanted to be sure to resolve that at least once. Okay, so with that in mind, I was thinking about playing the chariot, but I think we're going to run out like tactics, I guess. We're just going to try to get creatures on the board. I should probably pay attention to what my opponent's doing here. 2 + 2 + 0 flying and haste, huh? Okay. Well, we're taking 7. Our opponent is being aggressive, so this at least lets us block the supportive parents. They're still going to get in for 4 though. This is 4, 5, 6. So if we draw a land, then we can run out Omenpaths. We also could have done this and killed their flyer, but I don't know if it's quite to that point. I think if they have removal for Tathics and then they take us to 4, well, I don't think. It's pretty clear that next turn the play would have to be like enforcers and kill their enforcers and like double block the supportive parents. I don't know. They put a lot of pressure on though, and at this point I sort of need them to like not do anything for a couple turns. Just take a break, pump the brakes there. Let me play my Omenpaths. I imagine they're going to decline that option, right? No. Okay. Well, certainly not upset with the fact that they're drawing a land next turn. So they didn't kill my Tathics. We did not draw a land. That is unfortunate, but we can run out the Fate Weaver and the Merciless Enforcers and kill their flyer. So that's a pretty big turn. So that is what we will do. No. Alright, now how many things do we need to survive this turn to play through? We need at least 3 creatures, and then we can play through the Omenpaths next turn, but that would require tapping all of our creatures, which is probably not going to be great for us. Let's see what they do here. I definitely like happily do a trade-off here. What is this? 2 creatures and put them in your hand. Only 1 for you, though. Aha. Alright, beginning of first main, you can discard a card. Target creature can't block this turn. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let's see if they don't. Let's see, so that gives flying. So even... Interesting. Why did it auto skip? Did I... Whoops. I want to play the... I guess I passed through their turn. I wanted to scout and kill their dude there. Alright, so... Let's see. We can do this with tapping 2 creatures. We need to leave the Fate Weaver and Tathics back, I think. So we'll do this. We'll add blue for lulz. Or wait, no, we can't have blue for lulz. We gotta add green. Let's try that again. Green. Alright, and then, wait. Oh, we need to tap 2 more. Shoot. Alright. Huh, okay. I don't think we get to do what we want to do yet. Yeah, alright, we're gonna play this guy, actually. Yeah, we're gonna play this guy and scout, and then we threw the Omenpaths next turn. Because we're at 7, and tapping all of our dudes puts us in rough shape. Okay, and I'm really not missing anything, right? Like, oh, this is a sorcery. That's what I'm missing. Oh my god, why did I think that was an instant? Ooh, that's not great. That's not great. Okay, so now we can't. So it's actually not the worst though. So since this gives flying, like I was really not sure I wanted to scout on the enforcers anyway. Okay, so they make it so something can't block. Okay, yeah, so we're in peril. Right, because they falter the Fate Weaver, and then I can't block their flyer. And with this being, so even if I were to have killed their flyer, they just move it to something else, and then this gets even worse. So, it's play Omenpaths and hope to hit something else that blocks flyers. Let's see. And then we block, or we tap this. All right, so yeah, we have to hit another flyer here, or else we are in trouble. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right, we're screwed. Oh no. Well, we resolved through the Omenpaths. Well, we can't attack. I guess we attack with the enforcers, and then if they block, we don't die to their enforcers. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they can take the hit down to 32. Yep. Yep. That's gonna be it. Oh wow. All right, good game. At least we resolved through the Omenpaths. Yep. And we learned that Scout the City is a sorcery. Most of those green, kill a flyer. Those are usually sorceries, not instants. So I don't know. And after passing priority on their turn the first time, it should have queued me in. I was thinking that the Mana Dork was like could only cast sorceries or something like that, but. Nope, the spell I wanted to cast was a sorcery. I still don't know that really changes much, right? Because they just moved the equipment to something else. So probably something else with bigger base power than 2. Right, we were fighting Kush King. Alright, so I would like to have at least one game where we get to resolve through the Omenpaths when we're not like just in, getting beat up. We've definitely fallen behind in the games we've lost like very early, and I don't really have a feel for like how fast this format feels so far, but like maybe we've been a little bit clunkier. All right, we get to play the Weaver. Not crazy about the idea of trading that off for the Aerialist, but if they get to put a counter on it or something, yeah, okay. Target player draws a card. Yep, there's their counter. Okay. All right, so we don't get to block, and we can't parallel lunge it this turn. We have access to 4 mana, so let's just go ahead and run out this dude. Excuse me. can attack. Next turn we can Perilous Lunge their Aerialist. Assuming they don't put even more counters on it. So there is the 1 and a white, give something hexproof and a 1/1 counter. I know that. Okay, well that's cool. So it's 8 mana, we've got 6. We could play the Chariot and get another land. We could play the Citizen. We could play both and then Omenpaths next turn. Alright, I like that. I like that plan. I guess we can also attack with this Crime Lord dude and see if they... The 1/1 hexproof doesn't really make sense because that would 2 for 1 themselves, but they could have another trick, and I kind of just want to get that out of their hand. Although you could also make an argument for not wanting to trade off creatures. Okay, so that's the trick they had, which they're 2 for 1ing themselves, which I'm more than happy with. And we'll go ahead and do this, and we will tutor up the land as well. Forest rather seems fine. 6, 7. So next turn we can just through the Omenpaths. Alright, and we're not like... searching for an aura or equipment and failed to find. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem very good. Alright, yeah, we're just running this out. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. It's 8. And we've got... Okay, so... Yeah, never mind. Never mind! What a foolish plan that was. So let's see. 5, 6. We can get 1 mana back. We cast Chisix. Or 7 to 2. Okay, so yeah, nothing really good there besides, I think, just running out Chisix. This has reach as well. Alright, cool. Deal. Cruise for 2. We'll go ahead and crew that up and get in there. Okay. Do they have another trick? Oh my goodness. Alright. Fine with that, because that was like one avenue to them getting rid of Chisix. Okay, that's... Kitten is not too scary. Alright. So, we can definitely play her through the Omenpaths now. Yeah, let's... Alright, and then that should tap the lands. Unblock. Untap that. We'll put this thing into play. And I think... Okay, they... Cool! We resolved through the Omenpaths and we won. After having to convince ourselves that it is 8 mana and not 6, not 7, but 8. Alright, 2 and 2. Let's see if we can at least move into guaranteed break-even record for the event. Opponent their decks seem to have... I was going to say seem to have some cards that were suboptimal or maybe didn't do a lot. You know, the thing that finds a aura or enchantment, and they didn't have any auras or equipment in play, and didn't find any. That seemed a little rough, but I scoured for playables in this deck, so it be like that in sealed sometimes. So 2 Scorpion Stings, the Leyline Weaver, Scout the City, which we will note is a sorcery. Something I learned today. Less worried about falling behind early when we can pick off their dudes. I think in this case we're going to go ahead and run out the Weaver, though. Develop our mana. As opposed to Scorpion singing this thing. Okay, okay. will not be trading. I'm a little surprised that they did not offer the trade. Okay, these lizards are cool. Okay, so excuse me, next turn we're playing Tethix. Question is if I want to kill this, but I'm okay with getting pinged for 1 and just seeing what they do first. I will probably very, very likely a Scorpion Sting something on their turn. We'll see what it is. Okay. That guy is dead. Very dead. It's unfortunate because we're going to play Tethix next turn, so it would have been nice to get our 2-4 going. Okay, if they crew that up, that's fine. And then we will go ahead and kill it. Alright, deal. And then we run out Tethix. Thanks. And then we get in for 2. This Leyline Weaver thing is real sweet. 2 mana for Mana Dork, which... Okay, like is a 3-4. I think that guy's pretty okay as well. Common Crook thing kind of sucks. So we can turn a permanent from what we mill. So Through the Omenpaths happens to be a permanent. Alright, so let's see. If we attack with this, if we attack with Tethix, I don't see them blocking. And if they do, we can do some Scorpion Sting nonsense, but this thing has Death Touch, so I'm gonna wait. So they're in green-red. Let's go for it. Alright, so actually, yeah, just being able to ping them every turn seems reasonable. I was gonna say, maybe wait one more turn to see if they play a flyer, but they're in green-red. I'm sure there's some sort of red dragon in the format that I would like to kill, but oh, what's happening? Okay. When it enters, deals... What in the fuck is this thing? 5/5, first strike. When it enters, pings for 2 and does 2 damage to that creature's controller. Yikes. That is a very good magic card, and it made this thing huge. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, we're gonna run this out. And this turn, we're gonna have to Scorpion Sting the 5/5. Oh my god, and they have Chisix. Well, I think we're in trouble then. Yikes. Okay, well, we get to do this. And that's step 1. I thought it was the paths. Okay, we can tutor up our own Chisix. Hey, thanks. And just 1/1 Death Touch is actually like a huge game here, right? Alright, so we'll get that out there. Is this trample? Of course it tramples. It does everything. Alright, this actually is like okay. We have a very tentative okay situation going on right now. We have access to 6 mana right now, so we're getting close to being able to ping twice, or drain twice. We need them to not keep drawing big things, though. Okay, I think we have to block with the Tethix, right? Just so that we don't take... That only activates as a sorcery. That's unfortunate. Yeah, because we can't afford to take 5 trample. Alright. Alright, that draws us a card. We can give something Death Touch until end of turn. We can put 1/1 counters on a spider. That's a spider. That activates only as a sorcery, though. So we're going to play this. We're going to draw a card. We drew Chiswick's, which is nice. Alright, we don't get to attack. They have another Chiswick's. Okay. Huh. Alright, well, Fate Weaver probably has to block the lizards. Okay, I think they really could be attacking with more than one creature a turn. But we block here, and the next turn we play our own Chiswick's. We're gonna get them for one here. What tramples? Nothing that tramples. Okay, that I'm not too concerned with. So Chiswick's there, we chomp that. So if we do something like that. Oh, yeah, he is blocking, or he is attacking with that. Okay. So we kill there and there. We're going to go up to 8. Down to 2. Okay. Through the Omenpaths? No. Thanks. Okay. So we can put a 1/1 counter on Chiswick's. We could put a 1/1 counter on this, and then it can kill the string puller. That seems like the plan, right? So we can do this. Get a forest. Alright. Yep. That's the plan. Get a forest. Play the forest. So the other option is just put a counter on Chiswick's and then... Yeah, actually, I guess that's better, right? That doesn't trample. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Oh, it's 2 counters. Huh. Even better. Okay. We've stabilized? Okay. Well, that thing doesn't trample. I need to draw through the Omenpaths. And they need to draw lands. That's what needs to happen. I need to draw through the Omenpaths. They need to draw lands. Okay. Okay. Nothing has Defender. Sucks that this activates as a sorcery. What? Okay, what am I missing? When it enters the game, 1/1, reach trample, mayhem, vigilance. Okay, I'm not missing anything. This seems... Yeah, I don't know about all that. That doesn't trample, right? And that doesn't... okay. Thanks. I would like to draw a land, please. Or not land. I would like to draw not a land. Okay. Say go. I would like them to draw a land. Oh, come on now. Wait, why would you not? Oh, first main piece. I will decline that action. All right. So if I play that, I don't get to attack. We're just gonna play that. This doesn't trample or anything. Okay, so they have just something that's just gonna grow every turn, which is pretty annoying. Okay. Alright, if we can draw one of our two through the Omenpaths, we will be in okie dokie shape. Instead, we drew a forest, which is not the best shape. We go ahead and play that. This is intense. We are at 2. If they draw a flyer or a shock, we are dead. Oh, the pain. Okay. Let's hit him with the classic. We've got a couple more turns before the cheering crowd grows so large that we can't block it with the Chiswiks. Okay, they found a creature. There it is. No, I'm going to decline that. All right, we could have done that several turns ago, but that's okay. We are now going through the Omenpaths. Oh. All right, so we're dead. Very, very cool. Yup. You got it. Maybe they don't attack with everything? I don't know. They made an attack earlier that they shouldn't have made. Yeah, okay. Why are you saying good game? Do you just assume that like there's no chance that this is like an anything, like a scorpion sting? And then I just people say good game because they think they've won. Very tilting. It's almost as tilting as drawing like 8 forests in a row and then finally drawing this and having it just brick. Oh, what a great start to this format. Anyway, a little bit unfortunate at the end there, but it be like that sometimes. This deck seemed a little rough around the edges. We had 2 through the Omenpaths. I mean, that is going to be hard to top. Our green was pretty insane. I'm pretty sure black was the play. We had some good removal and some creatures. Once I get a little more experience with the format, I might look back and go, okay, red maybe would have been better. I don't think blue was it though. And I don't think white was it. So maybe the build was something like green red. But I don't think so. Also, our opponents seem to have some stronger pulls. I mean, we were just all in on getting through the Omenpaths out there and winning with it. But all right, well, that's it for our first foray into the format. Catch you next time.